What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today? Today, we're going to be talking about a question that I have been getting asked so much in the comments and in the and in DMs and everywhere, bro. And the question that I have been getting over and over and over and over again is, Corb, can you show us how to make a good preset? And the answer is no. I'm not showing you that shit, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you why. I personally believe that presets have ruined music. And this is not clickbait. That title's not clickbait. I genuinely think that presets and templates, nah. But presets I think have ruined music. And I'm gonna tell you why. You're gonna have to listen to me tell you why. And then I'm gonna explain a couple things that artists, engineers, producers, anybody who works in music could be doing. I'm gonna tell y'all a couple things that y'all could be doing to eventually make your own presets. I put in air quotes on purpose. To make your own templates, to make your own sound, and actually get better at this. Now, before I do that, of course, I have to explain why do I think presets ruined music, and it's a really simple answer. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows how to actually do anything. Nobody knows how to get a sound out of something that something that they're working on. Nobody knows anything other than the sounds that they are confined to within the preset. And when you're stuck with a preset, or if even if you have a whole bunch of different presets, at the end of the day, you still have no idea what's going on with what it is that you're doing. And so, sorry. And so that's like, what is that like? That's like, well, that's like something. I'm sure there's a good example that I could think of, but that I can't think of right now. But yeah, not knowing how to, it's like asking a carpenter to build a house and they have no idea how to use a chainsaw. They don't know how to use a hammer, and instead they just go and buy one of those $30,000 mobile homes from Walmart and pitch it up and say, "Here's your house. I built it." You didn't build it. You just copy and pasted some shit that everybody else is doing. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think personally, every artist, every engineer, or no, every great artist, every great engineer, and every great producer should know how to actually use the tools that they have at their disposal, and they should know everything that they're doing with the tools that they have. And here's the thing: when you know how to do all of these, when you know how everything operates that you're working with, you're in a way better position to say, one, I know what I'm doing, and people are gonna mess with you more, and people are gonna work with you more because you're actually knowledgeable about what it is that you do. You're going to be able to work on your own sound and develop your own sound and actually build it and put it together and say that it's yours. You're not going to be using some Yeet preset or like this preset or this person's preset, because all these presets, they sound how they sound, and you're stuck with that sound. You're stuck with that feeling. And something you may have something you may have heard me say in like the last couple of videos is like, you got to know how you want your stuff that you're working on. You got to know how you want it to feel. You got to know in like your gut and in your soul, like, I want this to feel like this, whether it's you're working on a beat or whether you're working on vocals or whatever it is. You got to know how you want it to feel, and you got to know how to get there, or else you're never going to be able to actually fully bring that vision to life. If you're just stuck in relying on presets all day, every day, you're going to be stuck with a certain sound. You're going to be stuck with certain feelings, and you're going to be stuck with and you're going to be stuck with other people's ideas, and not your own. I would say that there's a right way and a wrong way to use templates and presets. A lot of times, and in most people's situations, they download a preset off the internet, whether they bought it or just got it from somewhere, some free shit, and they just download the preset and they throw their vocals into that preset every single time or whatever, and that's what they're stuck with. That's the wrong way to use presets. I think that's the wrong way to use, and same thing with templates. Templates are really just a project of a bunch of presets. The goal of a good template or preset should be giving yourself a good starting point to say, here's my tools. Here, use them. It shouldn't be something that you solely rely on to make your sound and like make your music. So here's what I want you to do. The method to learning how to do what you want to do and how to do what you hear in your head is so stupid simple. And getting your own sound out of your own music is really simple. Delete everything. Delete everything, okay? Delete your preset. Delete all the plugins and start from zero. When you can start from scratch and add plugins and just listen and say, okay, this is what it needs, that's what you should be doing. I'll break down super simple thoughts that I'm having when I hear it, and you try and listen with your ears to identify what it is that I'm hearing and pointing out as well. So we're going to start plugins off. I'm going to just delete these, show you I'm being dead ass.
It's a rave, turn it down, let's go up. It's a rave, turn it down,
All right, so now we just got lead vocals.
Show some face, show my sound, get no fuck.
I always just am going to start with EQ on a vocal because I know that's what I need. I hear the vocal and the first thing I think is, okay, it sounds bland and it sounds thick. It sounds like there's just so much of this. Like if I listen to something like, let's listen to Cardi, right? Like I Am Music had amazing mixes, right? Like let's go. And I'm hearing it and it sounds so much thinner than this.
It's about time y'all shut up. Touch the stage, hit the town, clear these bucks. Out my lane, down, ho, I'm up. Tiger flames, I'm bound to go up.
Give it some brightness.
Got her back.
And then I know it needs EQ. I know it needs a compressor now. I'm hearing this and I'm saying, okay, compressor, because some of it's quiet, some of it's like loud.
It's about time y'all shut up. Touch the stage, hit the town, clear these bucks. Out my lane, down, ho, I'm up.
Wow.
Tiger flames,
look how much that did. We're already halfway there. If I throw a delay on this,
on influx, who's to blame? Not my
and then if I throw some ad-libs on,
chopper bang, clear the town, nigga, what?
change the volume a little bit.
Tell the musicians I'm ready to live. I had a Glock, tag him on his hip. He missed the
I think we're halfway there.
Swift in a crash, I know how it felt. I'm about to back in the weather ring. I'm about to.
And I still think it sounds a little like thick. So let's just throw another EQ on. This is just what I'm hearing, so this is what I think I want to do.
Niggas suck. Chopper bang, clear the town, nigga, what? I say, tell the musicians I'm ready to live. I had a Glock, tag him on his hip. He missed his fingers cause he liked it still. Swift in a crash, I know how it felt. I'm about to back in the weather ring. I'm about to back, fuck what you think. You niggas whack, get up on my ring. Bad hoe, blonde hair on sync. 200 head tap, club bang. Where the feds at? I ain't. Eating a pig 12, I ain't. I'm Larry Fitzgerald to the bank.
And when you can sit there and you could just listen, okay, this is the first issue I'm hearing. Boom, let's solve that problem. And then go to the next step and say, boom, okay, this is the next issue I'm hearing. Boom, let's solve that problem with another plugin. Boom, boom, boom. And then this is the next issue I'm hearing. Let's solve that problem with another plugin. And when you use your ears and actually listen to the things that if you say, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm trying to get, what tool do I need to make that happen? Is it and your job as an engineer and as somebody who's trying to improve, you just need to get better at actually identifying the different types of things that need to get changed. So y'all hear, last video I talked a lot about ear training. At the end of the video when I was talking about, I think, oh, your mix sucks because you don't know how to record. Or maybe it was the EQ video, I don't remember. But at the end of the video, it came down to ear training. Y'all gotta just train your ears. Go learn how to identify the things that you need. Learn how to identify the changes that you want to make. Because without you actually being able to hear what it is that you want to do, how are you going to know what plugins to add? You have to study. You have to study all the plugins. You have to mess with the plugins in drastic ways to understand how the changes that you're making with the plugin are going to sound and what it is that they're going to do. A lot of times I'm listening to the vocal and I think it sounds so I think it sounds really thick. So like I'm gonna bring this down. And if I bring this down a little bit, but I can't identify how it actually sounds, like if I'm just guessing, I'm imagining it in my head by turning this down. That's different from turning this all the way down and then being like, okay, oh, now it sounds really thin. Oh, that's what it sounds like if I do this. So yeah, that's what I want, but like let's just dial it back and get it to where it needs to be now. Like put this exactly where it should be. Or boom, like, oh, let's see what it sounds like if I put more mid-range. And like let's say you just do this. I don't know, honestly, I might not be able to tell the difference that much if I turn this up like this. So you really should say, okay, let's see what it sounds like if I boost this. Okay, that's really uncomfortable, but it is kind of the sound that I want to bring into the vocal. Let me just bring it down a little bit now. That's the sound I want. Let's do it the right way now, you know? Oh, I want to make it brighter. Let's see if this is the part I want to bring out. Nah, that's like a little too harsh. It's very S-y. How about here? Oh yeah, I like that. Let's bring it down now. Now that's what I like. Let's bring it down. Bring it to a place where I could just kind of hear it doing exactly what I wanted to do, adding a little bit more. Compression. Oh, like I can't tell what this plugin's doing. Let's turn it all the way up and see what the is doing. Okay, that's like too much, but I like it. Let's just dial it into the right place. Too much, but I like it. Let's just dial it into the right spot now. And that's really should be your philosophy, right? Like, you know, oh, here's like another good example. Like I want to add width. Like, oh, like I want to add some width to the vocal. Like a lot. I know on FL you guys have flangus, right? Like, you know, I do like meta flanger on here if I wanted to or something. Like, okay, let's like. Okay, it's like way too intense. Let's turn the mix down. Let's like the settings. What's feedback sound like?
I had a Glock tag him on his hip. He missed it. Cause he like to steal. Took him in the crash, I know how it felt. I'm about to back, send a wedding ring. I'm about to back, fuck what you think. Then he gets whack, get up on my ring.
Okay, that's what feedback does. That's what feedback sounds like. All right, let's turn it down now. Let's see what that sounds like.
I had a Glock tag
what's it sound like loud again?
Cause he like to steal. Took him in the crash, I know how it felt. I'm about to back.
So like, boom, okay, that's just what that sounds like. I just don't like that much of it. We're just gonna bring it in and bring the mix down.
The musicians, I'm ready to live. I had a Glock tag on his hip. He missed his fingers cause he like to steal. Took him in the crash, I know how it felt. I'm about to back, send a wedding ring. I'm about to bag, fuck what you think. Then he gets whack, get up on my ring. Bad hoe, blonde hair on sync. 200 head tap, cub bank. Where the feds at? I ain't. These nigga pig 12 like hang. I'm Larry Fitzgerald to the bank. I got a big barrel, Shell's name. These nigga Will Ferrell for the fame. He try to spin Ferris, click bang. I drop a house in a bitch name. Told my Woody, we so lit. We gon' take over this shit. I got a black truck every trip. You can't.
And I think that's a really important question to ask yourself as well. Like, did the thing that I did actually make it sound better, or did it not? If it didn't make it sound better, then undo it. A lot of times people do things and they just leave it there. They don't actually ask themselves the question of, oh, does this actually help? Is it actually making it sound better? Don't just do it because you saw somebody do it. Don't just boost this EQ because this is what you see everybody doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't just cut this out because this is what you see everybody doing on YouTube. That's not the answer. You need to listen to your song and say, okay, does this vocal fit better if I have less of this low mid, or less of this mid-range, or more of this mid-range? You need to actually go in and ask yourself these questions every time you're working on it, because if everything that you do, you're just guessing, you're never going to actually be able to say confidently, I know what this sounds like and I like what it does. You need to actually play with and experiment with all the tools that you have at your disposal. And mainly that comes down to EQ, compression, and your time-based effects. Those are the three main things that you're going to be using. Let's talk about that real quick. EQ, compression, and time-based effects. EQ, turning volume up and turning volume down. Compression, controlling volume. And time-based effects, reverbs and delays. Surprise, by the way, reverbs are just delays that are delayed really fast. You'll come to realize you have all these different plugins and all these different things that you could be, that are at your disposal to use, but all you really need to do is just pick one EQ. If you learn what one EQ does and how that one EQ sounds, that one plugin, then when you want to, you could go and use any other EQ because you know what an EQ fundamentally is supposed to do and how it's supposed to sound. Same thing with compression. When you understand and can confidently say, okay, I've been using this one compressor for a year, and this is how it sounds when I throw it on this vocal. I like it, I don't like it. Which one do I like it or do I not like it? Let's go try another compressor now, because I know how compressors work. I know how compressors are supposed to operate. I know what attack and release does. When you can understand those things, you can pull up any compressor. Same thing with reverb. Reverb is a whole nother beast, and we will have a whole video on reverb one day when I can confidently say that I understand reverb as well. I'm still figuring out reverb, just saying. But when you can confidently say, this is how it sounds, this is what it does, to each plugin that you have at your disposal, then you're getting better. That's when you're getting to the point that you need to be at. This video was a lot less tutorial based and more kind of explaining, more of like a thought process, but I hope this really helps out for some people. I hope some people take on the challenge of deleting their entire presets and starting from scratch and like attacking that, because the people who actually decide to take control and full control of how their music sounds, those are the people who are going to be the ones, because they're the ones who are going to be having, they're the ones who are going to have their own complete sound and their own complete ideas and their own thoughts really pouring into this music, rather than hinging and using other people's sounds and ideas and work as a crutch. Also, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting help from people and getting help from presets. They're very helpful, but if you don't know what you're doing, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Take the time to experiment and play with all these different plugins, but focus just for now on one EQ, one compressor, and one effect. And you will get a lot farther with just those effects and just those couple things than you will throwing a preset on and relying on that every single time. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. Let's hit 3K subs before the year is over. We have like 8 days left. So let's see if we could do it. I think we're like 500 away. But with these videos have been going crazy. I'm going to keep pumping them out for y'all. I love y'all. Thank you guys so much. And make some good music. Goodbye.